right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today is Monday, August 12th, 2024. Welcome to episode 684 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Briefing. We're coming hot off the heels of Hacker Summer Camp, Black Hat, DEF CON, B-Sides Las Vegas, Diana Initiative. So many awesome opportunities, so much great high-fiving going on. If you weren't there, you were there in spirit. We tried to do as many photo dumps and everything that we could possibly on the socials, but we're back. It's officially fall. Maybe some of you, the kids' schools are starting up. Certainly here in the low country, we are back up and running. So let's get down to business. Good morning, everybody. Over the next hour or so, me, you, Liz Hernandez, Q-Tip, Casey Cromer, Marlon Johnson, Rosemont, Carrie Nail, girl, hey, girl, Tom Bishop on the boot, Kimberly, my lady, Mod Chat, Jenny Housley, DJ B-Sec in the green room helping me with that audio. Let's go, guys. We're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can we use this information to actually drive cyber risk reduction for our business stakeholders? And if you're looking to break into the industry, hold your horses because you are in for a treat, my friend, because you're going to be asked in any single job interview, how do you stay current on the industry? Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast is a phenomenal answer, if I did have to say so myself. Also want to say shout out to James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, officially in seat 3B. Not a coincidence. He sent me his boarding pass right before the show. The dude is in 3B. So the person sitting next to James in 3A, welcome to the party, pal. Oh, yeah. So we got a great show for you guys. If you are a first-timer, newcomer, just breaking in, say what's up in chat. Networking is so important, so valuable. Don't sleep on it. Don't be shy. And I know some of you reached out to me and said you're a lurker because, A, you're either working or you're on the treadmill or you're a little shy. If you do have the opportunity within the next hour to say what's up, please do say what's up. It's great to go. It was a couple minutes late. I rebooted the computer. I was having some audio issues, if you can believe that. Oh my God. We got a great show for you today, though. It is Monday, so we'll be recognizing one member of the Simply Cyber community for their contributions. We've got the Daily Cyber, Simply Cyber Community Challenge a little bit later, jaw-jacking. It's all good. We're up and running. Guys, if you didn't know, I do not research or prep for any of the stories that we're going to be going. We're not going to be prepping on any of the stories that we're going to be going through today. So you're getting my rough, rugged, raw opinion. Now, give me 1 second here because we do have to say a shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors. Excuse me. Starting with Barricade Cyber Solutions. Give me 1 second. Got a special read for them today. What a wild week. James McQuiggan with the super chat. $9.99. Thanks, super.
We just become best friends. Yep.
All right. Trying to get that audio up for you on the sound effects. What a wild week. Great to meet so many new friends. Awesome to see current friends and now traveling home in seat 3B. Coffee cup cheers. Team SC.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thank you, James McQuiggan. All right. Let's get our what do we call it? Vendor reads. Barricade Cyber Solutions, guys, got a special Barricade Cyber Solutions shout out today. So some of you may or may not know, Barricade Cyber Solutions is run by Eric Taylor, Chief Forensics Officer at Barricade Cyber. Eric's son, Hunter, would have turned 16 today. We lost Hunter earlier in the year. And today, instead of reading his ad, we wanted to talk about this. If you'd like to donate to support children's health at MUSC, the PCICU, the Pediatric Cardiac Intensive Care Unit, I'll drop a link here on chat, or you can go to hunterstrong.com. Donations can be made in really any amount, and I believe all the proceeds go towards helping the PCICU achieve their goals, help the families, and, obviously, Hunter and the Taylor family spent some time there. So shout out to him. Happy birthday, Hunter. Would have been 16 today. But don't sleep on Barricade Cyber Solutions either Barricade Cyber, Dynamite Information Security Incident Response Group. Think of them as digital firefighters. If you want, when things are going bad at your business, you'll be glad that you have them to contact. Also want to say shout out and love. We got Delete Me this week, guys. Don't sleep on Delete Me. Let me pull up the old Delete Me. There's a little lower third. And here is the Delete Me read. Boom. Listen, guys. As a person that exists publicly, this guy right here, all up at Black Hat DEF CON's face, I share my opinions and hot takes daily. It's a whole thing. Unfortunately, I'm a hyperware in my safety and security. Kids are going back to school. It's easy to find personal information about people, including me, online. This data is just hanging out there on the internet. I know many of you in the community have started using Delete Me and have your own experiences. So shout out to that. If you got experiences with it, please drop it in chat. But I recently found a solution. The service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web and can help prevent ID theft, doxing, scams, etc. When you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted. You get reported monthly on what they've been deleting. I personally told them to wipe me off the face of the earth. I am 44 or 45. I am old, so there's a lot of data out there. So Delete Me. I challenge you to get my information. Guys, take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. Say it with me, joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Of course, we got Antisyphon, but more about those beautiful babies at the end mid-roll. Guys, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, and file it. Once a year, count how many screenshots, and you're done. You get your CPEs up in here. It's all about good times. And finally, if today's your first episode, welcome to the party, pal. Drop a hashtag first-timer in chat. I still do get carded for alcohol, which I find hilarious. Hashtag first timer in chat if it's your first time. We have a special sound effect, a special emote, and we love welcoming some new people. If you did make it to the Simply Cyber community meetup, there was a ton of people there. Shout out to all of you. High fives were coming in hot. It was a good time. All right, guys, do me a favor. We got some work to do. So do me a favor. Sit back, recline in your seat back chair, James McQuiggan, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us on an awesome wave. See you guys at the mid-roll. Also want to point out that the focus is now pivoting to Simply CyberCon, so details to follow on that. Wading through logs about to fly home. Enjoy that flight, homie. All right, guys, let's get to the news.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, August 12th, 2024. I'm Steve Prentice. Iranian hackers ramping up U.S. election interference. Microsoft has issued a new report stating that Iranian hackers have, quote, increased their efforts to influence the upcoming U.S. election, attempting to break into the campaign of an unnamed presidential candidate and creating fake news websites aimed at conservative and liberal voters, end quote. In addition to the bogus news sites, their other activities have included spearphishing a high-ranking campaign official and breaching other official accounts. This report echoes the warnings of U.S. intelligence officials who have described Tehran's intent as, quote, to act as a chaos agent and use disinformation to incite violence, end quote.
All right. So don't sleep on Iran, okay? So Russia, China, they're the ones who get a lot of the pub around, U.S. election interference and BRICS versus NATO and all that stuff. But Iran's got their situation. Typically, honestly, I know, by the way, this isn't a political show, so I guess that's worth noting, but typically, we see, Iran doing, I guess, in my opinion, like, denial of service attacks, kind of like slappy, splashy cyber attacks, not these hyper focused, long term misinformation, disinformation campaign. That's apparently, wow. Okay. So I'm getting news right now that I guess this group broke into Trump's campaign and leaked media files. Okay. So that's interesting. We saw this in, excuse me, in the 2016 election, when Russia allegedly, I don't know, like I use allegedly in quotes because I don't even know if it's been proven definitively or not, but Russia allegedly got into the DNC. Chairman leaked basically the Democratic emails, Hillary emails. That's when we found out about the secret classified information on the private email server, etc. So this is not new. The playbook has been demonstrated. It's just a different threat actor. I do find it interesting that Iran has come out and declared they're going to be a chaos agent. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I don't know. I feel like if you were going to be a chaos agent and spread misinformation, disinformation, you would be a little bit more discreet about, operating, as a behind the scenes kind of person. I will point out that all the APTs have different names, different, basically security vendors like EDR Solutions will have different names for their APTs. This is why it'll say Flaming Donkey, AKA, Spearfish, Dunkel Flork or whatever. They'll have different names, but it'll be the same one. FireEye is the one that has the most kind of memorable naming convention, in my opinion. And I just want to point out that this particular one's called Pioneer Kitten. But the thing to know is that all the kittens are Iranian-based ones, right? So all the pandas are Chinese-based. All the bears are Russian-based. So, if you see kitten, you should know immediately, okay, this is Iranian-based threat actor. Let's see. I mean, obviously, the U.S. presidential election that's coming up is going to be a hot mess express. It's very divisive right now in the United States. I'm sure we have tons of international people in the Simply Cyber community. I'm sure many of you are sitting on the sidelines, just over by the water, the coffee cooler, staring at us. But there's not, I guess what I would say is for me and you, unless you're working in a presidential campaign or an election type thing, this is more situational awareness for us. I would keep an eye on it. Obviously, you're going to see some information coming out from CISA around election security. Let's see. Microsoft released a report. I don't really dig on the Adobe Chrome extension thing. It's kind of bloated, if I would say so myself. Whatever. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. I see you. Oh, I said I'll be right out. Jesus. I'm going to take this infographic to the bathroom. What are we doing here? This looks good. So, dude, I love a good timeline histogram with data points. Look at this. Past Iranian election influences going back to 2020. So it's 4 years of activity. So I stand corrected. This is why I love visual insights. David Brand, welcome to the party. Hashtag first timer.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yes, sir. All right. So, I mean, no surprise, Iran's messing with Israel. And then, yeah, but hey, okay, you see where it says denial of service attacks, right? And then data theft. All right. So anyways, keep your eyes out, keep them open. And yeah, so there is that. I guess, like I said, there's nothing really for me and you to do. There's nothing really for me and you to do here. It's just to be mindful. Obviously, the elections are important. So let's keep going.
MD Sync Close
By the way,
flaw helps install nearly undetectable malware.
David Brand is first timer, and then David Brand sees the infographics, the saxophone. He's like, I'm good. I'm out. What's up? All right, so we got some first timers. David Brand in the house, and Ishart, first timer in the house.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal. Good to have you.
A warning from chipmaker AMD about a high-severity CPU vulnerability which has been named SyncClose, SINKCLOSE. The vulnerability affects multiple generations of its EPYC, Ryzen, and Threadripper processors and allows attackers with kernel-level Ring 0 privileges to gain Ring -2 privileges and install malware that becomes nearly undetectable. For context, Ring -2 is one of the highest privilege levels on a computer, running above Ring -1, used for hypervisors and CPU virtualization, and Ring 0, which is the privilege level used by an operating system's kernel. SyncClose has apparently passed undetected for almost 20 years.
What? Hold on. Okay. So interesting. There's a lot going on here, okay? First of all, I don't like the name SyncClose. I don't think that that's like, kind of like marketable enough. But anyways, if you find the bug, you get to name it. Multiple generations of this processor is impacted. I believe the computer I'm currently using right now has the Ryzen chip in it. And it allows attackers with kernel level privileges to gain Ring -2 privileges and install malware that becomes undetectable. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second, okay? Because I'm not familiar. I know Ring 0, right? Ring 0 is kernel level. And if people are in chat right now, would love your thoughts on this. Like, I don't typically say Ring -2 like that. When they said that, I was like, what is Ring -2? I don't think of it that way. I think of basically like user land and kernel land. And Ring 0 is kernel. And then basically each, like think of it as concentric circles. And the closer you get to the center of the jelly donut, the more privileges you have. So like the outside glaze is like user land where Carl operates. And then inside where the bread part is Ring. I was always thinking of it as like Ring 2. And then that's where like apps touch and stuff. Then Ring 1 and then Ring 0. So let me see. I guess in modern processors, they have, so here is something in full disclosure. When I went through computer science back in the day, right? Like modern chip architecture didn't really exist. So like TPM chips wasn't a thing, and this SMM feature. So I'm thinking this might be outside like the main processor and like kind of right next to it, which is why maybe this Ring -2 thing exists. But it's allowing you to install things there. Now, they say the CVS score is 7.5, which is not very high. So I think even though the impact, so basically doing a GRC, quick GRC back of the napkin thing, so hashtag GRC Mafia, the impact's obviously high. You can basically bury kernel level rootkits that'll go undetected for, pretty much indefinitely. That's gross impact, which means the likelihood of compromise is pretty low, if I had to guess. Let me see how this works. The one thing that I don't like about this, Ring -2 is isolated and invisible to the OS and hypervisor, which is why you can install malware and go undetected. This would be pretty gross. All your telemetry, right? All your Wade wells up in the SIM, none of that would be able to see any of this. Like you wouldn't have telemetry. Everything would look good. But you would detect beaconing, by the way. You can't. This is at the this is at the chip level on an endpoint. If you were going to get compromised by this, you'd still have to see network traffic. You don't install, like, there's no such thing as like a Ring -2 network, right? Like it still goes across the TCP/IP of the endpoint and out the front door. So you would catch it that way. Just saying. So the only way to detect it is if you were going to attach a physical tool and scan it scan its flash, using a flash, program or tool or whatever. So basically scanning memory. These Ryzen chips, mine's definitely available. The final thing I'll say here is that you already need kernel level permissions to install this. So if I had to guess, that's partially why it's like less of a problem. If you are working for some high level super VIP type person, or you have like some, national security systems, that may be on your radar. Yeah, you see here, like they talk about Lazarus Group, leveraging 0-day window flaws to escalate privileges and gain kernel access. So you'd almost, so final thoughts. You'd almost have to chain these attacks together. You'd have to compromise an endpoint, right? You have to compromise an endpoint. Oh, Tony Parrish dropping some knowledge here. Ring 0 kernel, ring 1 device drivers, ring 2 device drivers, ring 3 apps. Thank you, Tony Parrish. So you'd have to chain these events. So you'd have to get on the box, compromise it, then escalate privileges to kernel level, then compromise the Ryzen chip and have an exploit that works. Final thing I would like to tell you. So upgrading Jeff says, isn't CrowdStrike at ring 0? So CrowdStrike is an app. It has permissions to execute kernel level stuff, but I don't think it's, I don't know, honestly, upgrading Jeff, exactly how to answer that. I don't know CrowdStrike's architecture well enough to be able to speak to that, but I suspect you're able, like, it wouldn't work in this, right? They say in the story that you would need to physically connect it and pull it. So I don't think it would work that way. But the final thing I want to say, and this is something that took me not years to find out, but once you've done some like offensive security stuff, and I think all pen testers in here would jive with this. But when you have, like, when you write malware yourself or shellcode or something like that, it doesn't always work. Like, it doesn't fire correctly because all the time, right? The endpoint you're attacking could have interesting dependencies. It could have certain whatever, right? So it's not like, oh, if I get on this box, I absolutely own it like it's a movie. Like, it doesn't always work all the time. I'm getting more information that CrowdStrike is ring -2. So CrowdStrike's operating at ring -2. Although Daniel Harper is arguing this, that CrowdStrike is running a kernel level driver. So yes, it would be ring 0. We'll have to get some more information on that. Here, hold on 1 second. I'm going to take a note on this one. CrowdStrike ring 0. I might confer with some folks. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. DJ Bisek was joking. Context.
ADT discloses breach that impacts more than 30,000 customers. The company, known for its alarm and physical security systems, is sounding an alarm itself over a data breach that is the result of a cyber attack. The attackers gained access to ADT customer order information, according to a Form 8K filed with the SEC. The stolen data was limited to basic PII and did not include information about customers' home security systems or financial information like credit card or banking numbers.
All right, so physical security firm ADT. You may recognize their logo from lots of people's front yards with the stick in there. They suffered a data breach. They make $5 billion a year, ADT. Good grief. That's crazy. 30,000 customers. Let's see. It's mostly PII, right? They did disclose it on in a public breach. That's, again, if you're a publicly traded company, you do have to disclose. The SEC is now requiring aspects of that. I don't know all the criteria for disclosure, whether or not it's like certain thresholds, like with HIPAA, or if it's certain financial amounts, but they have been having to do that. Looks like the compromised information is email address, phone number, postal address, not superly significant. There still can be threat actor spear phishing attacks, like pretending social engineering, like pretending to be ADT, pretending to be a security person from the breach, saying, "Oh, click here, whatever," to claim your. You could pretend to have a class action lawsuit. Click here to get your piece of the pie, and then it's just like a malicious website that you send them to. I hate to say it, but like in 2024, this is like a meh story. What forum is this, by the way? Doesn't say. Do we know what forum this is? Because like breach forums recently got taken down. It just says a popular cybercrime forum. I'm not familiar with falconfeeds.io, but I do. I'm already following them. Okay, good. Good. There are a lot of Twitter, like, dude. Okay, so really quickly, like, again, this is like a nothing story, right? Unfortunately, business gets data breached. On to the next story. I will point out, when Elon bought Twitter, it kind of like disrupted, but things are getting back. InfoSec Twitter is like a super legit resource to go for, like up to date information. Lots of people sharing information on Twitter, like this. Okay, so this Falcon Feeds IO, kind of like almost like an RSS feed for data breaches, but also practitioners. I don't know about you guys, but for me, like when there's like an active thing, like the Progress Move It breach, or even the CrowdStrike thing the other day, like, yeah, John Hammond made a video like immediately that was super useful. But for me, like, jump on Twitter and like get like up to date information. I love Gossie the dog, obviously John Hammond, a couple other cyber practitioners out there. It's like, for me personally, up to date information. InfoSec Twitter is where it's at. Yeah, I mean, I haven't dealt with too many bots personally, but
Microsoft Office vulnerability could lead to data exposure. This warning concerns an unpatched 0-day in numerous versions of Office. In an advisory, Microsoft stated, quote, "In a web-based attack scenario, an attacker could host or take over a website that contains a specially crafted file that is designed to exploit the vulnerability," end quote. The company added that the attackers would have to convince the user to click a phishing link in order to open a specially crafted file. A patch for this vulnerability is expected in tomorrow's Patch Tuesday, and details about the versions of Office affected and the CVE number are available in the show notes to this episode.
All right, they did say that a victim would have to be tricked into clicking on something, not wicked hard, right? Hey, click here for five free bets on FanDuel.
Cool.
Yes, hey, and all you first timers here, Robert, it's Carl is our token end user who does silly things. Not that we're mad at Carl, but we just have to be mindful that Carl is the one that we're trying to protect from himself. So free tickets to the Masters.
Cool.
Clicking it all day long. Free shipping on your Black Friday purchase.
Cool.
All day long, right? So it's easy to get threat actors or victims to click on stuff, right, guys? So we need defense in depth. Email security gateway, end user awareness training, all the things, EDR on the endpoints. For those who are concerned about this, it is Patch Tuesday tomorrow. So, you patch your own things. You got to patch it.
You gotta patch it.
Right. Patch your own things. Patch your VIPs, endpoints, etc., and do all the things. It does sound like this one is not it's a 0-day, so but also at the same time, it could result in unauthorized disclosure of sensitive information. Again, that's not super bad, but it's not remote code execution, unauthorized or unauthenticated remote code execution, which is like the worst. I guess today is the CVS Score 7.5 day. Just patch your stuff, guys. I mean, it's basic, right? Threat actor hosts a website, contains a specially crafted file. Here's another thing, by the way, guys. Can you please educate your end users that, like, there's no scenario that I know of where, like, an LNK file as a file attachment makes sense. No one wants you to click on, like, no one's going to send you, like, an HTML attachment or an LNK attachment or an ISO attachment. Like, I get it, Jan. Like, recipes, you know, I got a great shepherd's pie recipe, but, like, I'm not going to send it to you via LNK file. Plus, like, these pig butchering scams where you get, like, a random message, like, hey, how you doing? Like, no, report junk, move on. Okay? Okay. All right, here we go.
Thanks to today's episode's sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker helps you take a proactive, default-deny approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation are fully supported by their US-based support team. To learn more about how ThreatLocker can help keep your organization running efficiently and protected from ransomware, visit threatlocker.com. That is ThreatLocker.com.
All right. For those who are new here, welcome to the mid-roll. All right. And if you missed it on the intro, shout out and welcome to all the first timers, including Liz Hernandez. Carlos knows what I'm talking about. Guys, let me say shout out and thanks to all of you for being here today, back in the saddle, doing the Simple Minds thing. I'm happy to be back. Dude, we're about to drop the hammer full bore on the fall season. Got the Citadel coming up, teaching. Jaw Jacking's going to get in. A lot going on. Guys, I want to thank all of you. 684 episodes of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Thank you to the stream sponsors for enabling me to do this all the time. Barricade Cyber Solutions, Delete Me, and Antisyphon Training. Guys, if you didn't know, Antisyphon Training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They offer their students the opportunity to learn skills, practice what is taught, and do all the things in a fun and inclusive way with their community. Go to antisyphontraining.com, learn what classes they have coming up. Trust me, they're all about good times. Quick little share here. Part of the team, right? We got Zach Hill, Deb the Deb. This is me in the middle. She Networks, Jason Blanchard, Bo Bullock, a.k.a. Def Hack. Can't really see him right now, but he's there, believe me. I can't. Well, sorry, Bo. Bo is off camera. Antisyphon Training, just amazing people, good times. Go check them out. All right, every single day of the week, we got a Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Today, Trap Creates has the baton. We couldn't find a post for you, Trap. Ask if they're posted. Trap Creates, did you drop a baton post? Let us know. Listen, we need someone to take the baton. Every single day, we ask one person to go on to LinkedIn, share their story, use the hashtag Simply Cyber Community Challenge. It allows other people in the community to meet each other. We need someone to volunteer for the Simply Cyber Community Challenge today. And Trap Creates, we need you to let us know if you actually posted on LinkedIn. All right, guys. Hey, every single day of the week has a special segment. And Mondays, I'm very pleased to announce, is officially... Oh, it is a sponsored segment. All right, so hold on. I messed up. Hold on. Every single day of the week is a special sponsored segment. And Mondays, we're going to get a better card for this, but Mondays is the Threat Locker Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, right? Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week is presented by Threat Locker. They take a deny by default approach to cyber. Guys, it takes a village to secure your business, and it takes a village to make Simply Cyber such a kick-ass, sorry, Kennedy, cyber community. Today's member, I'm happy to introduce you guys to CJ O'Neill. If you don't know him, CJ's been a member of the community for a while. The event that we did at Hop Nuts was CJ behind it. Let's get our la 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 la's on. So literally, the Simply Cyber community meetup was arranged, orchestrated, and pivoted at the last minute, all because of the hard work of CJ O'Neill. So if you had a good time on Thursday or Friday, then CJ is the man. That's why it came together. Thank you, CJ, for all you do for the community. All right, guys, let's get back into the news and finish strong.
Ransomware operators exploit ESXi hypervisor vulnerability for mass encryption.
By the way, CJ, connect with me because the community member of the week, now that it's sponsored, has a prize associated with it. Let's go.
Report and warning from Microsoft, which has uncovered a vulnerability in ESXi hypervisors, which it says is being exploited by, quote, several ransomware operators to obtain full administrative permissions on domain-joined ESXi hypervisors, end quote. The vulnerability involves a domain group whose members are granted full administrative access to the ESXi hypervisor by default without proper validation. Microsoft has disclosed the findings to VMware and recommends that administrators apply the updates released by VMware.
Yeah, this sounds pretty serious. Does this have a CVS Score? I always use the CVS Score as a like lick your thumb and stick it up in the wind to get like a rough idea of how like, do I need to go get my brown pants? I don't know. Like, so, okay, come on right now. CVS Score 5.3 to 6.8. This means, yeah, you got to patch it, right? Obviously.
You got to patch it.
But at the same time, like, I'm going to finish the daily cyber threat brief. You picking up what I'm putting down here? Known attack vectors, a malicious actor with sufficient AD permissions. So you already got to be up in the network. You already got to get AD, which is not impossible, right? If you crack Carl's box and then you dump creds or something like that, you're able to run Mimikatz, you're able to run Bloodhound and like move around the environment. You could get there, but you know, it's not like, you know, again, I'm not trivializing this. This is definitely not good, and you should absolutely be mindful of it. But let's see. Microsoft is observing active exploitation of this attack, right? So this isn't, you got to remember, guys, really quickly, like vulnerabilities are weaknesses, but it's like an unlocked door or an unlocked window in your house. It doesn't mean that exploitation happens. Just because I left my front door unlocked doesn't mean my house gets robbed. It's exploitation of a weakness that is when bad happens. So in a lot of instances, 0 days can drop, but they're not seeing active exploitation yet, so you have some time. This one, while it's not trivial to exploit, threat actors are exploiting it. Because it is ransomware threat actors, if I had to guess, they're exploiting not existing, but like initial access brokers who are basically selling them access into the environment, and then they're basically just jumping in and going after it. The technique includes following commands at the creation of a name, in the creation of a group named ESXi admins. So they basically add ESXi admins into the domain. That's not good. Let's see. I'm just reading more about it. Oh, yes. Actually, this bug has been around for a couple weeks. I remember this one. So this one is like, if this is going to sound really, really judgy. This is going to sound really judgy. But part of the problem, my understanding, is that literally VMware like hard-coded the word, like the name ESXi admins, it's like a hard coded. So like if you're in the ESXi admin, you can run stuff, and the threat actors figured it out. So it's my understanding is it's not that hard to exploit because it's basically a hard coded naming issue. Right? Any member of the domain name group. So right here, this is the problem, right? And I hate to be so judgy, but anyone who's in the domain group called ESX admins has full admin access by default. So if you didn't already have that group and you just create the group and add yourself to it, guess what? Guess what you have? Welcome to the party, pal. You've got full admin access by default. ESXi hypervisors don't validate that the group exists when the servers join the domain. This is the root of the problem, okay? Like honestly, guys, this isn't like leet 0-day shellcode injection, remote code, control flow, taking over the stack. This is like literally adding a domain name, a domain group to AD and adding yourself to it. Definitely either, create the group and then lock it down for, joining it. That might be a good workaround. If I had to guess, there's probably workarounds in here on how to address this. Here's the TLDR. Let me go full screen. TLDR, guys, full stop. If you're running ESXi hypervisors in your environment, send this to your IT people and say, hey guys, like I know it sounds like there might be a patch here. Yeah, see, waiting through logs, create the group and disable the ability to add people. Yeah, exactly. Full stop, right? Like this sounds like one that you can easily fix. But if you don't, you're kind of flirting with disaster. Again, open door doesn't mean, or unlocked door doesn't mean you're going to get robbed, but the skill level to exploit is pretty low, right? This, like I said, this doesn't require a sophisticated threat actor. This just requires somebody with access into your environment. So I would prioritize this one. Ooh, all right. So DJ BSEC, taking Wade Wells' thoughts and going plus on it. Just don't create that group. Create a different one. Put an alert on that group. The old honey token technique. I do enjoy a good honeypot honey token. Basically, canary tokens. Something that something that rattles and alerts you when someone's doing things that they shouldn't. Ooh, I love some honey tokens. I'm still waiting for my Thinks Canary shirt to arrive. They said they sent me one, but I love Thinks Canary. All right, let's go.
In Florida, become latest victims.
By the way, if I can, for just a hot minute, practitioners obviously take care of this. But if you're looking to break into the industry, this one, most IT people, most InfoSec people are going to know what VMware and what hypervisors are and have heard the term ESXi, right? They're obviously going to know what ransomware is. So because this particular attack isn't wicked sophisticated, but it is being used and exploited kind of like wholesale by ransomware threat actors, this is a good one to wrap your head around. And again, I'm not trying to marginalize anyone in chat at all. All I'm saying is this exploitation isn't super technical or super sophisticated. So it's very easy to digest and come up, basically digest and be able to fully understand what's going on, what the problems are, and be able to have it in your back pocket to like bust out in a job interview, and make sure that everybody at the interview really is easy to understand what is happening and why this is an issue. So just saying that it's a good one to kind of put in there.
Of municipal level cyber attacks.
Wait, Wade Wells got a Think shirt at Black Hat? I want one. Okay. Hashtag FOMO.
The city of Killeen, Texas, is recovering from a cyber attack that began on Wednesday, which disabled the utility customer service payment system. The city itself attributed the attack to the Black Suit ransomware gang. And the attack on Killeen came one day after an attack on Florida's Sumter County, which affected access to certain records but not emergency services. This attack was claimed by the Riceta ransomware group on Friday. They have demanded payment of $400,000 by August 16th.
All right. Hey, I see you, Reseda. $400,000 ransom. Very, very fair. Right? I mean, I'm not saying like that's good. I'm just saying that's a pretty in the world of ransomware payments, I think the average payment right now or demand is like someone just dropped this in chat the other day, like 1.7 million to $2 million is like the new hotness on norm. So for 400 grand, I don't know if it's like, BOGOs or like, back to school special. Like use my use my coupon code when you're paying your ransom payment to get 20% off. I don't know what they're doing. I guess Colleen is where Fort Hood is. Interesting. Go on. Guys, here's the deal. If you work in state or local municipalities, buckle up, Buttercup, because you are square in the crosshairs of threat actors, especially ransomware threat actors. You got to remember, guys, like local state governments, they're nonprofits. They are nonprofits. They are designed to have enough money to run operations, and that's it. And unfortunately, IT operations don't get super funded. I can't ever tell you like any instance I've seen dedicated cybersecurity professionals in state and local. Usually they're multi-hatted, like IT professionals who are also responsible for information security. And, it sucks. So, I mean, whatever. I mean, the US government's warning about it, but guess what? Like, take your warning and a cup of coffee and let me know how that goes for you. Like, unless you're funding these operations, unless you're enabling them with resources and tools and knowledge and professional expertise, what are you going to do? Like, I hate to be like a big government person, but like one option would be to have these state and local municipalities feed into some type of like centralized, incident response center or like a statewide, that's one kind of way to do it. As far as I know, Nail Girl, it is federal government agencies that are not supposed to cannot pay. I don't know if state and local are obligated to not pay as well. All right. Black Suit Ransomware Gang. Let's see. The FBI spotlighted them. So we do the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. I guess the FBI does the Simply Cyber Ransomware Threat Actor of the Week. So Royal Ransom successor is Black Suit. God dang. So that's another thing for all you first timers, long timers, and people looking to break in. A lot of the threat actors, you got to remember, it's the humans behind the threat actor group that is what matters. So when they dismantle something, they just spin up again. It's like a Hydra where they need to cut the head off if they're really going to do it. Yeah, so I'm seeing some people say they don't officially pay, etc. I do got to tell you, I mean, Uber did this, or Uber tried this. It didn't really work out for Joseph Sullivan, but like sometimes they try to wrap it in a bug bounty package where, the ransom is $2 million, but we don't pay ransoms. Thank you for finding the bug in our environment. Here's a $2 million bug bounty payment. So there is that angle, but not always the best practice.
White House devising cyber insurance policy proposal for catastrophic incidents. Speaking at Black Hat on Thursday, National Cyber Director Harry Coker Jr. said his office is working with the Treasury's Federal Insurance Office and with CISA to design a policy to, quote, manage risk and not avoid risk, end quote. The goal would be to explore ways to, quote, stabilize insurance markets against catastrophic risk to drive better cybersecurity practices and to provide market certainty when catastrophic events do occur, end quote. This means that should a catastrophic cyber incident occur, the federal government could be called upon to stabilize the economy and aid recovery. The initiative is being created because, quote, there exists a gap with respect to the insurance market's ability to respond to catastrophic cyber incidents, end quote.
All right. Really quickly, because there's a couple hills that not hills I want to die on, but there's a couple like low key initiatives that I've been working for like years. There's two, namely one is making GRC socially acceptable. I do think that we have achieved that mission. There's a lot of people making GRC content now on LinkedIn and YouTube. There's a lot of GRC jobs coming up. People talk about GRC. So I'm gonna call a win. I'm gonna continue this mission of making GRC. Like I'm ready to start working on making GRC cool now that we've made it socially acceptable. The other one that is a bigger hill to climb is our industry is called cybersecurity. It really should be called cyber resiliency. This story right here literally just said it's not about preventing incidents from happening. It's about managing how bad it is when they happen. That is cyber resiliency. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
So yes, when you are doing insurance, right? When you're doing insurance, you could say, okay, like Jerry lives in a coastal town. Hurricanes come through here. Your insurance is X. Well, like Jerry owns the same house, except it's in, I don't know, Nova Scotia, which doesn't really suffer natural disasters as much. So insurance is Y, which is like less than X, right? It's very easy to do these things because you can put your arms around, likelihood of event and impact, right? This is why cyber insurance is like GRC's BFF. Well, with cyber, unfortunately, you can scale up. I mean, look at NotPetya attack, how gross that was. Zurich International Insurance Company had to pay something like $4 billion or something crazy to Maersk and Mondelez, right? These black swan events can come out of nowhere. And guys, like I'm not like everybody thinks like, oh, insurance, like you suck. I pay into you and I get nothing. But think about insurance for a second. It's a business. They need to charge $100 if they make a profit, if they are expecting to pay out $70 in policies and stuff like that, right? It's not a nonprofit. It's not a social service. It's literally a business, right? Now, they're not trying to, you could argue with me on this one. They're not trying to make the most amount of profit and completely gross out, overcharge everyone, because they do need to balance people wanting to pay X amount for their policy while still making a profit. Okay, I know I'm getting into a little bit of a popsicle headache here, but my point is insurance companies it's very difficult for them to calculate what would be appropriate to pay out with these catastrophic incidents. So the White House, federal government's trying to step in and manage that. I almost think it's like the way that the FDIC is for banking. That way your money's always protected. I hope this doesn't turn into one of these, like the U.S. government bails out insurance companies if there is a catastrophic event. Again, this is not a fight. This is not a political show. I'm just personally a little exhausted from government bailouts, personally. But let's see. This guy told the audience that one of the biggest issues is around actuaries. Exactly. This is the problem. This is the crux of the problem. There isn't enough data of consistently recurring incidents to be able to say with any certainty, we can project that in 2025, there's going to be X amount of ransomware incidents to, so we understand the market. That the actuarial tables, which is the crux of how insurance has worked since the dawn of time, is the problem. Okay. Policy interventions. Let's see. So, okay, so finally, the thing I'll say about this, and this is actually a hot topic. So if you're new to the industry and you don't know about this one, this is kind of like a hot thing, right? A little. So some people are firmly of the position, and let me take you. Let's do this really quick. I want to take a poll here. Do you think? Oh my gosh, Jerry, first time typing. Insurance payments fuel ransomware. I'm just kind of curious. So this is like a hot topic in our industry, is that like, if there was no insurance payments, then threat actors would go away from ransomware because there'd be less money there. But because there's ransomware payment coverage in policies, they know it's guaranteed money. They know the money's right there and they'll get after it. So some people, this is like, basically this is part of the reason why like federal governments won't pay ransom. They also don't want to fuel terrorism. But the problem is you would need everybody to agree to not pay the ransomware payments. And in a private sector industry where capitalism is the underlying model, there's a perverse incentive for a business to pay the ransom, right? Because let me just break this down for you really quickly, and then we'll move on. If I'm losing $1 million a day, right? Let's make this very simple. I'm a manufacturing company, and I make retro Game Boys, right? Like retro main cabinets or whatever, like video games. I make video games. Every single day, I make $1 million from my business. Yes, I get ransomware, and they're asking for $400,000. Receipt of ransomware is like, Bo, we broke you down. We got the keys. We got everything. 400 grand. So what am I to do? I'm losing $1 million a day. I could give them $400,000 and basically get back to business, or I could be down for a week and lose $7 million. Any CEO that chooses to be down 7 days in a row and lose $7 million instead of paying the $400,000 would be replaced. Like, again, like this is part of the rub of capitalism, right? Like, like, yes, you could take the high road and not support, not encourage threat actors, but money talks.
Straight cash, homie.
All right. So that's that. All right, let me go here. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Let's keep going. We want to finish strong here.
GPS spoofers hack clocks on commercial airliners. The relatively recent phenomenon of GPS spoofing involves hackers modifying GPS signals used by commercial airlines to navigate. The technique is also used to disorient drones and missiles in conflict zones. But now, according to Ken Monroe, founder of British cybersecurity firm Pen Test Partners, and speaking recently at DEF CON, the technology is being used to change the times and dates on the clocks in aircraft cockpits, sometimes by years. This causes the plane to lose access to its digitally encrypted communication systems and requires them to be grounded for weeks while engineers manually reset their onboard systems.
All right, this sounds gross. Hey, Kofi Arthur, welcome, or Ko-Fi Arthur. I'm going to go with Ko-Fi because it rhymes with lo-fi. That's kind of where my jam is. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Okay, so this, like right here, like just so you guys know, in case, I know many of us know this, but like this story right here, this research, this is like gotten DEF CON written all over it. This is a DEF CON talk 100 out of 100 times. They did present it at DEF CON. The fact that this GPS attack can ground flights for weeks is really, really scary. It doesn't sound like it could cause a plane to go off track or I mean, Jesus, did you guys see what happened in Brazil with that one plane? Oh my God. So I don't think the GPS is like that. But hopefully they can get this sorted out. My thing is, so they're saying you can distort or block GPS signals using relatively cheap parts. So I guess my thing is, I don't know enough about GPS. But if I had to guess, it sounds like, I'm sorry, really quickly. So it sounds like it's just, unfortunately, part of the GPS system doesn't have security in mind where it validates whatever the device is that's broadcasting out the information. Just like Just like this makes me think of cell phone towers, right? When you're driving down the highway, oh my God, space tacos. Well, I'll cover it at jaw jacking. So if you're driving down the highway and you're on the cell phone, right? I'm talking to Wade Wells right now on the cell phone. I'm like, "What's up, Wade?" And I'm doing 90 down the highway. When I hand off to cell tower, it gives me a nice, clean phone call, and the phone call doesn't drop. But my phone isn't like, "Wait a minute, is this next cell tower that's wicked strong legit or illegit?" And this is why stingrays and spoofing cell phone towers and being able to adversary in the middle and stuff like that can happen, because there's no validation of the tower. This sounds very similar, where like the GPS device, right, the ground-based station or the satellite is broadcasting out GPS information, and your, Garmin on your dashboard or your plane that has this unit that's looking for the GPS is just grabbing the strongest signal, and unfortunately, it doesn't sound like it validates that signal or that system. This, I'm kind of surprised that this hasn't come up already. It sounds like, I don't know. It sounds like something that could have been done already. Definitely worth checking out. DEF CON usually releases their talks at some point in the future. So you can go catch this if you want. I know Josh Mason is a pilot. Might be some other pilots in here. So Rex with a super chat.
Did we just become best friends?
Saying, did this affect Boeing more than others? I don't think so. Let me see the only thing Boeing in this story is like the caption of this photo. So it just happens to be Boeing. I think this could be like just, the general unit, the general GPS unit. So, I mean, just to let it's not going to make a plane crash. It's just going to screw up stuff, which is kind of a jerk thing to do, but it is what it is. All right, let's go.
Sure, you mark your calendar.
All right, there we go. Let's do this. All right, guys. I hope you got value from the stream. Really quickly before we go, I know some of you got to go for work. This Friday, especially if you're here and you don't know, every single Thursday we do a live Simply Cyber Firesides, 1 hour conversation with industry professionals. This Friday we have Jessica Hyde. If you are even remotely interested in digital forensics and incident response, this woman is nails professional. She kills it. She is like regularly engaged by, just in all sorts of fashions, like high-ranking U.S. federal situations, expert witnesses. Like she's awesome. Okay. And she cares an amazing amount about community and about helping people. Last time she was on, she dropped more resources than you could shake a stick at. Jessica Hyde, come on this Thursday and join us. Again, shout out to CJ for Community Member of the Week. Super pumped for that. CJ, connect with me for your prize. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Oh, okay. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. If this was your first episode, again, I hope you come back. I hope you had a great stream.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I'm going to close this poll out. 75% of the community thinks that ransomware payments do fuel. Yeah, Space Tacos, you can always request guests, for sure. All right, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Do me a favor, if you want, hang out. We got some jaw jacking in a hot minute. Until tomorrow, come back 8 a.m. Eastern time. I'm Jerry, your chat. Till next time, stay secure. Hey, what's up, everybody? I didn't get to go to Black Hat DEF CON, so I've been hanging out in the studio. But welcome to Jaw-Jacking. My name's Jerry Guy, coming hot off the heels from that nerd. Oh my God, what a stiff at Dr. Gerald Auger, the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Been hanging out in chat, but now it's my turn. Jaw-Jacking with Jerry Guy. Guys, if you're new here, we basically just AMA. You got questions, we got answers. If I don't have the answer, I'll get it for you. A lot of great talent in chat. We've got, threat intelligence analysts, CTI experts. We got blue teamers, red teamers. We even got a network engineer floating around here. I'm a GRC pro. Let's go. Purple platypus shirt coming in hot. Guys, what's up? DEF CON was sick. Guys, DEF CON was sick. Black Hat was sick. Again, I hate, I'm not trying to push FOMO. I'm just telling you, it was a good time this year. Spent a lot of time with Joe Hudson, Casually Joseph. Wade Wells, spent a lot of time with him. Zach Hill, spent a lot of time with him. Yeah, Real Bilbo. Real Bilbo made it to the Simply Cyber community meetup. Lots of high fives there. Shout out to Tyler Ramsby. Kathy Chambers. Good to see you. Good morning to you, Kathy. So what's up, guys? What's cracking? How is everybody? Guys, I got some hot news for you. Listen. Simply CyberCon is now the focus. So Black Hat DEF CON was the focus. Now Simply CyberCon was the focus. We are going to have a ton of information coming out for you. I'll just tell you super informally. It will be hybrid, meaning there will be an in-person component. The in-person component is November 1st. It's a Friday in Charleston, South Carolina. B-Sides Charleston is Saturday, November 2nd. So, Simply CyberCon will be the official sister conference of B-Sides Charleston. CFP is going to open up this week. The website's going to get done this week. Everything is going to be moving quite quickly. But Friday, November 1st is Simply CyberCon. And the idea is that, hopefully you'd want to go to Simply CyberCon and B-Sides Charleston. Simply CyberCon will cost $0. So don't think that will be a problem. Hey, CJ's in chat. CJ, I don't know if you just got here, but you were the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Congratulations. I'll contact you on LinkedIn to get you your prize. So stay tuned for all of that. By the way, can I just share a fun fact with you and why CJ straight crushed it like a boss? Listen to this. So Simply Cyber Community Meetup in Vegas. By the way, if you didn't see it, hold on. Let me pull this up. Did you guys see the photo? The team photo? Where's the team photo? Of course, I can't find it. Here, look at this. I don't know if you guys saw the team photo. Yeah, look at this team photo. This is so dope. Right? Dude, this is Hop Nuts Brewing. There's probably, 35, 40 people here, right? We got Josh Mason, Virginia Case, Sabine, we just met. Nerman in chat, what's up? We got Q, Carlos Hernandez, Kev Tech IT, might recognize him. Wade Wells, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Tynus, there's Casually Joseph in the flesh. CJ way in the back. Guys, it was sick. Real Bilbo's right here. Right? God, it was so sick. Rod Rickenbach's right here. Marcus Kyler of the Yeet Crew. Tyler Ramsby. Whoop. Yeah, so guys, it was so cool. Listen, we were originally going to have it at Golden Tiki. Okay? Listen to this. We were going to have it at Golden Tiki. What's up, Q? Listen, for those who don't know the backstory, we were going to have it at Golden Tiki, And on Thursday, the day before our event, CJ called to confirm. This is why CJ is the community member of the week. CJ called to confirm that our party was all set up. And Golden Tiki's like, oh, wait a minute. You're bringing a bunch of people? You would think that they would be excited, right? Because they make money. They're like, oh, you're bringing a bunch of people? That's actually an event. And CJ's like, yeah, whatever. Call it a party. Call it an event. I don't care. We'll be there at 3 p.m. And they're like, no. An event has a $4,000 FU fee. And they're like, I'm sorry, what? And they're like, yeah. So, do you want to like give us the credit card now or? And he's like, what? So we immediately pivoted. Talk about business continuity plan. CJ had a location. Tyler Ramsby had done Hack Smarter the night before at the place we went. We called that place Hop Nuts Brewing. They were fully welcome to welcome us. And we dropped in there the next day. We took the place over. Okay. It wasn't like subtle. We took it over. Liz was the manager / bartender at Hop Nuts. I talked to her. They want us there every year. We're going to do a complete takeover next year where we just get the entire place to ourselves. So be ready for that. Sometimes crap happens, but it worked out for the better. I loved this place. There was like a fire hot chicken place across the street. The beers were great. Simply Cyber, it was good. It was good. And if you were there, please share your thoughts. And if you weren't there, I hope you can make it next year. So anyways, that's what's up. Any other questions? Hey, by the way, I need to confirm. Did Angel Martinez, did we get the official Marine Corps retired? Angel, are you got the baton? We need you to confirm it. Yeah, malware training. I mean, they didn't call it the FU fee. I called it that, but I mean, basically, that's what it felt like. Space Taco's coming in hot with the super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
August 24th is my 1-year anniversary. Thanks, Jerry and Simply Cyber fam. Love my new job as an auditor. #GRC Mafia. Can't wait to see where the adventure takes me. I appreciate everything you do. Jesus, Space Tacos, it's already been a year? Feels like just yesterday we dropped the wrecking ball.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Yes. Larry Shervington, any tips, cadences, or hacks to make studying for certs easier or more efficient? Work and family's crushing my time day in and day out. Wife's disabled, so I take on a lot around the house for context. Yeah, so I mean, Larry, all I can do is offer my techniques and stuff. But for me, Larry, as far as like hacks go, when it comes to certs, this is my approach. One, I get the practice exam, right, before I do anything, and I take the practice exam, and I baseline where I am. Then I study, and then I take another practice exam. And basically, when I get certain areas or domains that I'm good at, I stop studying those, and I focus only on the areas that I'm not good at. I also find flashcards are super useful for me personally, like handwritten flashcards, because it engages a different part of my brain. You can always, like, say you're like waiting for something. You can spend 1 minute writing one flashcard, right? So you can always kind of get the flashcards in, and then you can always, like, if you're keeping the flashcards on you, you can always, say you have 30 seconds between whatever. You're waiting at an appointment, right? You can bust the flashcards out and kind of zip through them. That's my technique. It's more about doing like incremental things and filling all the time slots for me personally, instead of saying like, oh, I need to carve out 2 hours for studying Sec Plus or whatever. All right. Taekwon Gong's got an interview today. Let's go, Taekwon. Who's going to make it to Wild West Hackin' Fest this year? Khalil Lee, I'm going to be there. I'm super pumped. I'm going to be keynoting. Also going to be keynoting is wading through logs in chat right now. Good old Wade Wells. keynote. Also want to point out, wading through logs, inspiring me on my keynote at Wild West Hack and Fest this year and making it happen. Guys, I got to tell you, I really liked having DEF CON in the convention center. It was like massive, but it was actually quite nice to be able to get to everything quite quickly instead of wandering around. I used to hate having to like, it was kind of like frustrating to have to like walk 25 minutes to go to a different event. Christina Paulika, good to see you in chat. Christina, you're going to be at Wild West Hack and Fest. That's sick. Alana's going to be at Wild West Hack and Fest. That's awesome. Christina, missed you at the Simply Cyber community meetup. Dude, Wild West Hack and Fest is going to be so dope. I can't wait. Let's see. All right. So did we get, I don't know if Angel Martinez accepted the baton, so we might need someone. Yeah, 256 key note. Jeff S has got a interview. Nice. Looks like we're going to be going. Hey, just a reminder that next week is the start of the fall semester. For those who are new and don't know, maybe you came in the last couple months. I am faculty at the Citadel Military College. So the once school starts, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I like have to end the stream and like get the hell out of here. Do I stream every day? Monday through Friday, Cloud9 Rhythms. Let's go. All right, so Angel's accepting the baton. Thank you, Angel. Just go to LinkedIn, share your story, and use the hashtag Simply Cyber Community Challenge. And if you can, tag me as well. And we'll straight up high five it. Oh, well, Christina, if you're in Paris for the Olympics, I mean, I think the FOMO is on this side of the table. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Super cool. I hope you had a great experience. The Olympics were cool. Oh, so anyways, yeah, not to get super dark, but like the a couple like current events that are interesting. So the there like an airplane went down in Brazil, but it was like the weirdest thing. Like it literally went like straight down and it was like spinning in circles, like a very unusual situation. I know that the black box has been recovered from that. That's a storyline. Another one that's like in my space. Did you guys see the Australian breakdancer that basically ruined breakdancing for everyone? That like I read that the Olympics have officially removed that event for 2028 because of what happened. Like basically, she got a 0. Like literally, she scored a 0 on her Olympic event. So a couple news stories that are like in there. All right. Hey, for all those who are traveling right now, I know Casually Joseph, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, Wade Wells, everybody who's traveling today, please travel safe, fly safe. I wish for all of the no delays, no rescheduling. Exactly, that breakdancer. All right, guys. So let's see. Yeah, well, Brent B. It was there and then it was gone. I don't even know how you like score breakdancing. Like I didn't know it was that advanced to have like, you know, scored moves and stuff like that. But all right. All right, looking at chat. Seems like it's just kind of a catch up Monday. which is good. Catch up Mondays are good. Kathy Chambers you were missed in Vegas. David O'Neill's got an interview tomorrow. Let's go, David. Gosh, it seems like so many people are getting interviews this week. This is phenomenal. Augusta Delgado saying that they've discovered a 0000 day. Like, I can't tell if that's a joke or not, but if it is, it's kind of funny. Are you coming to Ohio for hackers, teaching hackers? No, I don't even know about that. What is that? Let's see. Do you plan on adding any more practical labs to your GRC analyst course? No, I have not. I'm not planning on adding any more practical labs to the course. I will tell you that I met with, this is kind of fun. I met with Try Hack Me, and they were like, hey, we really like Advent of Cyber. I said, I like Advent of Cyber too. They're like, can we come up with like some GRC courses, GRC Advent of Cyber stuff? So I'm looking into that. Itching to Learn says, how difficult is it to break into GRC space with no IT experience or formal education, just certs and home projects? I mean, how difficult is a really subjective thing to say. It can be done. It can be achieved. You got to get, professional, get, do networking, document what you're doing, get smart, audit, understanding frameworks, all those things you can definitely do. Hold on one second. So what happened? All right, hold on. So this 000 thing is a real thing. Wow, this is interesting. So, Upgrading Jeff says, what happened Thursday night, Friday morning? I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to, but on Friday morning, the stream last Friday was run by BSEC and Eric Taylor. I had already worked that out with them because I was going to go out Thursday night. I went out and spent time with Joe Hudson, Zach Hill, Wade Wells, Wade's friend Josh, Casually Joseph. Had some drinks, played some blackjack, hung out, had fun. It was all about good times. Really quickly, I don't have time to look into this right now, but this 000 day exploiting local APIs from the browser is a thing. They discovered a critical vulnerability affecting all major web browsers and enabling attackers to breach local networks. This is interesting. Very cool. Who shared this? Was this Augusta Delgado? Augusta Delgado, thanks for sharing this. I'm going to leave this up and look into it. This is very interesting. Thank you. Oh, this was a story from last week. All right, guys. All right, I've got to go. Let's see. Midwest Hacking Fest type of deal. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know about that. And I don't know the dates on it. Oh, I can confirm, too, that I will not be going to Wild West Denver. Like, I don't know what they're officially calling it, but the Denver Wild West Hacking Fest. All right, everybody. I've got to boogie out of here. I want to thank all of you for being here today. Thanks for the Jaw Jack and Super Chill Re-Entry Monday. Be well. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time for Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief with that nerd, Dr. Gerald. That should be good. Until next time, y'all, stay secure.